13,000 more police officers, which I think everybody wants to see more police on our streets, and I think that people will be keen to see the government getting on with that. But yes, this is about foreign criminals who have released from prison, who have gone on to re-offend. Now, of course, we don't know the circumstances of their right to remain in the UK, but I dare say there'll be a lot of people wondering that if they are offenders, what is going on there. And I do think the government should be looking at this. And by the way, we were talking about immigration a little bit earlier. One of the things this government is doing is returning people who aren't supposed to be here, and they're getting on with that.
I mentioned that a bit earlier. I think 10,000 since they won the election in July. But Jonathan, why doesn't this government, your pals in number 10, why don't they release migrant crime stats like other countries do? There's a lot of pressure on them to do so. The Telegraph did some of their own research last month or so, showing that, for example, Albanians, Kosovans, those from Vietnam have a higher imprisonment rate than native Brits. Why doesn't the government be transparent and public those stats?
Well, I presume they don't. Well, presumably they don't collate them in the way in the ONS, I suspect,
must do. The Home Office
collating them at the moment. I mean, I'm not sure where the Telegraph have got those particular numbers from. But look, I mean, I always believe that it's important to be transparent with statistics. Of course, it is. But I do want to emphasise this point because it's not getting much pick-up. The government's immigration policy, when it comes to those who don't have the right to stay in the UK, is turning out to be effective. It is returning people to countries across the world, and it is doing deals with countries across the world. So when Conservatives come on, like Mel Stride was earlier, saying the government doesn't have a plan, well, actually, the government does have a plan, and it's beginning to work.
Yeah, they've had the largest number ever returned on one flight, and asylum returns up 50% in the last 12 months. But the Tories insist that there's been a 64% increase in small boat crossings since the same period before the election, 6,000 extra people in hotels, and the asylum backlog is up by 11,000, all since the 4th of July. I mean, you know, pick sides, decide which set of figures you want to believe. This is a huge problem. But when it comes to criminals, I mean, I'm not even talking about foreign criminals, but I have to ask you, I can't resist, about Louise Haigh. We know that she resigned last week because it came to light that she had a criminal conviction. That was spent, but the public were not aware of it. It poses a whole debate, doesn't it, about whether or not there is a life in the public service, like she was in the cabinet, for somebody with a criminal conviction. What's your personal view on that?
Well, I think it's very sad for Louise Haigh. I think I'm very sorry to see her leave the cabinet. I thought she was a very effective cabinet minister with a very promising future political career, actually. And indeed, Keir Starmer said that she will continue to make a contribution. She did the right thing in leaving the cabinet.